Hey everyone, my name's Andy from the Value channel. I've got Uselink or Casper with us today. Obviously, if you guys want to follow Casper, he's got a Twitter page. It's what was it at Uselink INV? I think.
Correct. Yes,
Yep,
correct. Yeah, yeah.
at Uselink INV. If you want to follow him, I wanted to bring him
Please
on,
do.
get a little bit different perspective than just mine. He also does a lot of charting, which he's got nice, kind of bigger picture, clean charts, probably cleaner than what I can do. So wanted to get him back on, wanted to know what's going on with uranium, precious metals, platinum, gold, silver, those types of things. And right now, Casper, what do you think looks the best right now, and what are you seeing out in the markets?
I think yeah, the best right now, short term, I think is platinum. I think platinum looks truly amazing, both short term, mid term, long term. I think what we have seen in the past since the past week or so, I think we saw a major breakout for platinum. Again, short term and long term. So I think platinum is
So when you're
looks very
when
good. Yeah.
when you're looking at this, are you looking at it from like the Renko charts? Are you doing just normal candlesticks? Are you talking just it's breaking out with anything you use?
Right now, what I'm looking at just today, is the standard. But as you know, I use Renko and all sorts of stuff just to give a different perspective. But I haven't looked at the Renko actually. But I think if I remember correctly, it need to close above 1085 for the Renko to confirm. And I can show my screen. Yeah, I remember
Yep.
correctly. Awesome. I can just show my screen here. And again, Renko is just a different take on it. It removes all the time aspect in a chart, so it's a cool tool to use. And I highly there it is.
Highly recommend it, right?
Yeah, just to try it out because
It's
I think
it's turtle heading out.
can you see?
It's
I
sticking
think
its head out.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is yeah, it's Renko. So don't have any time reference here, even though it states it. But I call for a 10, as you can see here, for a 1085 to print the next green bar or box, and we have that right now. So so platinum short term looks very good. And by short term, I mean if you could make a target, I would do a Fibonacci extension, and to see
Mhm.
that if you do a 100% measured move for the shorter term here, I think the next, I don't know, half a year maybe. I don't want to put any time frame on, but you could go to 1500. I think at least in 2023. That's uh that's one way
Yeah,
to look at
it's
it in the short term. So
that's good. It looks really good from that perspective.
yeah, it does.
Big flag pattern.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
a flag pattern's a continuation pattern, and then we got to break through. Yep, that big downtrend line.
Yeah, the big one for sure.
Yep.
And it will be a big one to break, this 12, what will it be, 1300, I think, will be a big level to go through. Um, so we might take some time, like one or two tries, but I think ultimately, I think platinum will get there. So
Yeah, I know you're a platinum bull though.
yeah, exactly. I've been since
Yeah.
yeah, late 2020. So I know you went a bit early. I think you were
Yeah.
in early 2020, right? You did buy a lot, I think. So
Yeah, I did 29. I started in 2019. I cost averaged in, and then
okay.
we had the blowdown in 2020, and then I really went into it big. And then
Yeah.
I've been
So you have
buying
gotten a lot of platinum for
recently.
like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and then I bought some more in 2022, and
Okay.
even maybe even 2021. Yeah.
Okay.
The the premiums went up a little bit in 2020. So it when it first
Okay.
initially got pulled down, the premium stayed pretty cheap. They kind of came way down, and then I got a bunch there, and then the premiums got a little bit larger, but it was still really cheap. You could buy platinum eagles in the upper 700s from what I can remember.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yep.
That's cheap. Wow.
Yep.
And I think you will double that, investment in 2023. It's quite possible to do that to get to the 1500s. So it's not too bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what else we
So
got?
yeah,
What about
platinum.
silver? What's silver doing? I know silver was looking really good. I think we were breaking out some stuff. Could do a retest or
Yeah.
something like that in the short term, perhaps. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm just gonna clean the chart here. So yeah,
Okay.
Silver have done amazingly, the past what is it, October? Yeah, 3 months or so. But as you can see, I think we need to have some sort of a pause or a pullback here. I think in the short term we need to have that.
Hmm.
But overall, this is one big major frustrating bull flag, right? So
That one. Yep.
so uh, so it will. Well, there are no guarantees, of course, but it should resolve to the upside at some point. I know many people have heard that for like 20, 10 years or so, but me included. No, but I think, we'll probably get a short-term pullback here, and then we will resume higher. And uh, and also the reason I'm saying that is, if you look at the dollar right now, you can see. I think you actually also posted something about that. I think the dollar is going for some sort of, you know, move back up here after it broke down from these major formations. So I think the dollar has a bit of a rally now,
Yeah.
I think. And then that will, of course, put pressure on gold and silver. So,
It
but
it looks like it's got the Batman top though.
yeah, it does. Yeah, it could have, yeah. True, the bad man.
Yeah.
So, and
So
also
yeah,
you
it's
can see
probably
it's
come
uh,
on. It'll. You think it's going to come back up and then roll back over?
yeah, I think so. I think so. I don't know how high we will go, but I
Hmm.
think if you also put on the moving averages, you can see clearly
Yeah.
that we are in a downtrend right now, below the 200, below the 100, and the 50 DMA is about to do a death cross here. So I think, from a standard point of view, this is the dollar is in a bear market right now. But as everything doesn't go down in one straight line, and we have pullbacks on the way. And I think this is the first one. So
Do you think this dollar coming up, coming lower like it has that we see on the chart there? Do you think that's going to be a big tailwind behind a lot of these commodity prices?
yeah, of course, because as you can see, for 2022, gold and silver suffered somewhat big time, right? At least
Hmm.
at the beginning. But you can also see, that where is it? You can also see that actually the dollar gained 20% in a year, and that's just a huge headwind for any commodity, stock market, you name it. So
Priced in dollars, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So 20% for in one year, that's a massive move in one currency, especially the dollar. So
So do you think we'll come back up? We'll get everything will kind of pull back down or stay a little bit down for a little while when the dollar kind of comes back up. And then you think it's just going to roll back over and go into a pretty, we'll call it a pretty big decline after that? Or what's your opinion there?
yeah, I think so. We could. I mean, I don't know if we will see a big drop in gold and silver. Maybe we will just pause,
Yeah.
because actually in 2022 even the dollar was up 20%. Gold only dropped, like 4% or so. So gold actually did pretty damn well,
Mhm.
uh, even though the dollar was very, very strong. So I think we will see the same here, a strong dollar, and I hope and think that gold and silver will hold their ground. And once we start to turn over again, um, then hopefully that's where we start to see the gains again for gold and silver.
Yep.
So
That's what I think is going to happen too. Something like that.
yeah, but I don't know how high we'll go. But somewhere in the 105 to maybe 107 could be the way where we go to.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I agree. So it could be a little bit. We might be paused or grinding sideways or something like that in some of the commodities. What about oil? What
yeah,
what are you thinking on oil or oil related stuff? I'm always
yeah,
interested in oil. I know we've got a lot of
yeah,
uranium guys too, and we'll talk about that after. I'm the oil guy, but yeah, we've got the little top
yeah,
there, the double top. Totally agree. And we had to pull back, getting a little bit more
yeah.
selling
I
pressure.
mean, the way I see oil right now, yeah, exactly. But I think I showed this last time as well. I think we have seen the five waves,
Hmm.
the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I really think, that oil right here is doing whatever it can to make a bottom, you know.
Yep.
Um, I think this area here is the bottom. Um, but you know we need to break out to confirm it. But you should watch oil here, you know, to see what it does. Um, and I think you know as soon as I don't know how as soon as they stopped, you know, releasing the from the strategic reserve, do they still do that? Do you know?
Well, they just stopped
From,
in the end of
oh, they stopped.
December,
Okay,
so they
I
just
see.
stopped
I
it.
see.
And China's reopening, but
Yeah,
that's going to take. I think that's going to take some time. It's not going to be immediate.
yeah, yeah.
So
No, no, no.
yeah, they're all going to get sick. It's going to be a little bit of some time and
Yeah,
get some traction. People start, figuring when they're going to travel, when they're going to do X, Y, Z. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
but yeah, I think oil looks
Yeah.
good
So
too. Yeah,
I
right here.
think it looks really good. Also, you maybe have a bottoming pattern here, you know, the head and shoulders. So this is one
Yep.
to watch. And I think when if we break above, let's call it 82, 81, 82-ish,
Mm-hmm.
I think then you have a big run from there to at least 94. So at
Yeah,
least.
I don't I don't wait. I kind of cost average in, get my shares kind of early, I guess, and I don't wait too much. I'm too
Oh,
impatient, and I know natural gas was getting hit. I don't know if you want to pull that one up.
oh yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I can
one's
find that for you. But actually, natural gas, as we speak, you know, looks. I think I posted a chart today actually as well. You know,
mhm.
if we remove that one, so this is what I'm looking at here for the past 10 years, and I do think that we are due for a bounce here,
Yeah.
given that you have a neckline. So depending on how we do it, I think we will do a bounce here, uh, for like 50, 60%, depending on how we go, and then we will see
Oh
what
man,
happens. But
you're doing a head and shoulders on me, huh?
yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm not saying it will be, but I think it will try to form something, and then we have
Hmm.
to wait and see. So, but
Yeah,
I think
I'm
there's a short-term bounce here in gas and oil. So,
the weather. I guess is it pretty warm over there right now?
yeah, wait, yeah, I think we have 10 degrees or something like that here in Denmark. So Celsius. So
So
it's
that's
it's very warm, yes.
very warm. Yeah, because they were saying it's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
warm over in Europe, and I think this is obviously impacted by the warm weather over in Europe. So,
yeah, yeah, true.
yep. So yeah, I'm still a big natural gas bull. It's just when's this thing going to bottom? Because I want to buy a bunch more when it starts to turn
Yeah.
and turn back up. Um, what about uranium? I know you're like the ultimate uranium bull. I mean, you're very bullish on uranium. It was
I,
your
I'm very bullish. Yeah.
one of your highest was it highest conviction trade or one of your most excited ones for you?
It,
So.
yeah, all three, I guess, you know, it has been
Mhm.
my best, you know, trade or investment since I started late 2020. And it's also the one that has the most conviction, you know, from fundamentals point of view.
Mhm.
Um, I just think, you know, I know it sounds stupid now because, you know, the past let's call it 2 years more or less. Ah, well, 1 year at least. It hasn't done anything, right? It has gone down and down. So if you have bought at the top, you know, it's very frustrating to see your investment have been cut in half. But I'm still, you know, a major bull for uranium, and I will not, you know, sell any shares until we get, you know, at least $100 for the spot price. So that's how I play that market. Um, Very bullish, very very bullish.
Okay. And so what do we have here? It looks like URNM divided by the spot price.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, what you want to have in any bull market is you want to have the company outperforming the asset or the commodity, whatever they do itself, or the sector.
Mhm.
And uh, and this is actually what we maybe could start to see again after such a long wait. As you can see here, that it's trying to peak out a bit here. If you do the weekly, it might be more easy to see. So as you can see here, the URNM ETF is trying to start the outperformance again against uranium spot price. And uh, and when that happens, when if that happens, that's where you see the big gains. So You can see
Is it-
the same here again, where we broke out
yeah.
here.
Mhm.
And this is actually, late 2020. Oops, sorry. There it is. Late 2020, where, when all the miners got just went berserk, right? 200, 400, 500, 1000%. This was
Yep.
late 2020, where I started to buy,
Mhm.
November, December, October. So I think we could be at that point again,
It looks like a
hopefully.
similar lead in too. If you look at the last lead in from like March to the breakout, it looks like it's similar to how it's just smushed all together of this, yeah, the current
Yeah,
right hand
exactly.
side. It just looks all
Uh,
smushed up.
that is, yeah, that is true, actually. This one could,
Yeah, it looks
yeah,
all the
that is
same
true.
kind of.
That is true. Yeah,
Yep, that whole move, and it's just kind of smushed all up together. You gonna try to copy it,
yeah.
bars pattern,
I'm just gonna see how it looks, just
because
to,
it looks very similar. Yeah,
yeah, it actually does. Yeah, it does. Let me
it's
just
just smushed
change
up.
that one.
It's all
Yeah,
compressed together.
mm, yeah, yeah. You can see the
Hmm.
same, and then the
Yep.
breakout here. Ah, that's very nice, actually. Awesome.
Hopefully it
Yeah,
breaks.
I didn't see
Hopefully
that
we.
until you mentioned it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. That's really nice.
Let's break
So I
it,
think if
uranium. I've got a
let's
lot
do
of
it.
I've got a lot of money in uranium too. So I've been sitting
Yeah.
there. I bought it in the same time frame that you did in the late 2020s. I've added into it as well. And some of them have been buys that, a little higher than where we are today
Hmm.
because I've been adding
Yeah.
in.
So what? Yeah.
So yeah, it's not like I have all my position in 20. I mean, I have all my position in 2020, but I've been adding in,
Mm.
trying to catch some of these pullbacks and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because you're
looks really
also
good.
this. Yeah, you're also very bullish for the entire decade, right? For commodities, I guess.
Oh, I'm
So,
I'm a massive,
uh,
massive bull in uranium.
yeah, same,
The
same here. Yeah, but
so,
I
like
mean
if
also
you were
for
to,
oil, gold and silver. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I if one takes the viewpoint of not doing it short term, if you take a long term viewpoint, I am like so massively bullish on energy, it's
Hmm.
ridiculous. I'm
Yeah,
bullish
me too.
uranium, I'm bullish oil, natural gas, everything. But I know how everybody gets turned on the short term time frame. So, over
Yeah,
the last year or two, yeah, uranium's gone down, since 2021, the peak of in 2021. And I don't, it's just a year. And if you don't need the money,
exactly.
if you don't have to have that money like this second, I think over the next decade, we're going to do some crazy stuff, like just absolutely insane stuff. Now, the timing
Yeah,
of it,
I agree.
I don't know, but it looks really
That's
good
also
right now.
difficult. But
It looks so
yeah, it
good right
does.
now with what you're showing. What
Yeah,
about your URNM priced in dollars? Because we've got just one big massive um, pennant formation that's basically, yeah, right. Oh, that's
I'm just
the
gonna
Sprott
delete
Physical
everything.
Uranium Trust, and that, we've got it's squeezing.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it really is.
it's just
So
one big
everything is more
massive
or less
pennant kind
squeezing
of,
up, right? So
yeah.
yeah.
Now
And
we,
again, you're very short term. Yeah, go ahead.
well, I was going to ask you, you know, we're squeezing up. We entered this from the bottom side in, which is generally a continuation pattern, right? So, what's your kind of feeling here on breaking higher versus lower, given the pattern?
Yeah, I think there are, merits to both sides, I guess, because, this is you don't need to drop a lot, before you get a lot of short stop losses, So it's it's very hard to say, I guess. But we are in an uptrend, so that should favor the upside. But but I think I also have mentioned before on one of your shows, Andy, that I wouldn't be surprised if we make a third leg lower, so
Yeah,
we get
like
the one.
it's the final washout where everybody
Yeah,
just
exactly.
throws the towel in.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But that would
Yep.
also line up with, the stock market, Nasdaq, SPX, SP
Mhm.
500 also just going down the drain. So this would be, like a big pan sell-off, more or less. But it wouldn't
Yep.
surprise me. So
A
it
pan
wouldn't surprise
Just
me
to
at
let
all.
everybody just to let everybody know, a pan sell off is a sell everything event. Just so
Yeah.
everybody knows, because I know you mentioned it, just to make sure they understand. And what that
Okay.
means is
Yeah.
he thinks the S&P and the Nasdaq could sell off and then drag
Gold,
uranium with
silver.
it.
Yeah.
Yep, everything
Yeah.
else with it. Yeah, I think it's possible as well. Yep.
Mm. And yeah,
So
you need to look at it from both angles always. Because one of my problems, at least 2 or 3 years ago, was that I was very biased to the upside. Or in my opinions, if I liked, let's say, whatever uranium, I only looked at it from the bull side, and that's very dangerous to do. So you need to know what else that can happen. So
yeah, and I think even if we fall to the downside in some of these commodities, it's actually more bullish in the long term because
yeah,
um, what happens is if the price goes down, it's going to disincentivize more production and supply. So
true.
even though the markets in the short term could go down, it's actually more bullish on the long term for commodities because I don't think we've solved anything from the supply side on any of this
No,
stuff. Uranium, oil,
nothing,
natural
nothing.
gas, on and on and on and on. So yeah,
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree.
so we're going to find out here really soon if this is a break higher or
Yeah,
lower.
yeah, we are.
But
I think in a month at least, or no more than 1 month, I guess. Maybe 1.5. I think we will have the answer. So
now, what? Here's a question for you: if we break to the upside there, how far should we break before we get into an area where it's like, all right, this feels good? Well, where's the feel good happiness spot in this chart here? I mean, do we have to break above that top orange trend line that you've drawn up there?
not necessarily. I think one major victory would be the 22. No, no, sorry, this is the URNM. If I go to the URA, it's 22. I can do that. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
more clean. Let's do the URA. It's fine. But I think getting
Okay.
above this area, which relates to 22 on the URA ETF, I think that's a major win. But as you can see, back here in November, I started to say getting above, yeah, 22 on the URA was, the breakout. So I think when and if we can get above this level, I I think it will be go time for
Okay. So 22
so
on
we're
URA.
only,
That's the Sprott.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
Sprott.
So 10%
That's
from
the
here.
Sprott uranium miners there, isn't it? URNM. That's
This is
URNM.
the Global X. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. URNM. Yeah, that's the spot. Yeah, yeah. So, but as you can see on the URA, we are just sitting right there at the end of a major. Oops, wrong color. But anyway,
Rainbow. Yep.
um, yeah, on a major squeezing formation. So
God, that's huge. Yeah.
yeah. So, but
So we want
you can see the angle from the bear side is more steep. So yeah,
the steeper the line, the less strong it is usually.
yeah, because then yeah, typically you also have if that happens, you typically also have the moving average, yeah, the DMAs above, which also is a ceiling, or a resistance. So
Okay. Because usually, um, when we do technical analysis on stuff, when trend lines are flatter, they are more significant, and then when they're steeper, they usually happen in less time, so they're not as significant. But in
yeah,
this case, you know it's not like we're looking at like a 10-year trend line or anything. It's only like a 2-year time frame or so.
yeah,
So
9 months. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah, we're gonna find out here in the next month or so.
yeah, we are. And as you can see, if we get above the 22, we also get above, 200, 150 DMA. So from there, to me,
Uh-huh.
it's go time. It's big time go time for uranium. But
So and last time uranium took the run, that was in like 2004, I think, time frame where it really
I
started to
don't.
take off in the last bull market. And
Yeah.
that time frame, like 04, 05, 06, that is very similar to the time frame we are in today in relationship to how the interest rates were behaving. Like we were slowing down in interest rate increases and it was going to go into a
Hmm.
pause. And that's when uranium went ballistic, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
um, was in that similar time frame. So from that perspective, I think it's really close. looking at it. And I know some people think that we're just going to go diving into some recession. Um, I I don't see the delinquencies. I don't see all the supporting information. But yeah, it was like 2004 when it started going
Yeah,
vertical, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
like oh four,
exactly.
oh
Yeah,
five, oh
2004. Yeah,
six.
mid. Yeah,
And I think that's when
man, I wish.
um
Yeah,
I think that's when the Federal Reserve paused their interest rates. I think was
yeah,
around
could
that
be.
time frame. Yeah, just put Fed funds, and I think that will be the
Will that be enough? Oh, sorry.
yeah
That one? Okay.
Fed funds, and then put it as yeah.
Yeah, so
Also,
they,
it was still increasing there.
yeah,
So, okay,
but they increased it all the way, as you can see. Exactly when they start
yeah.
to increase, actually, where it's gone ballistic. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Interesting. Hmm. I'm just wondering if the liquidity in the system, if they are successful at it, could we get a short term pullback in this thing
Yeah,
before liquid?
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, we could.
yeah, we could, yeah, easily.
Because I do
That's all.
think there's,
Yeah,
more inflation ahead of us. But
yeah. I think for this decade, I totally agree.
yeah.
We
Mm-hmm.
have we have way more, way more. I know. I also noticed right now the people at work started to saying, oh, the inflation has peaked because they have read it on some mainstream media. I'm just like, yeah, you just wait and see until like 2 years, and then when we get to the end of this decade, I mean,
What
it's
makes you think? What makes you think the inflation is going to increase? A little while out. Is it from like oil? Is it
it's from
from
history. No, I'm just looking at history. I think we
okay?
will see some sort of repetition from the 70s. Sorry, so
Okay,
that's how I see it. If I can find it somewhere.
because I do think we're still in the construction cycle as well, and that's
I'm not
for
not I'm not
homes.
that much into all these cycles, so um,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know regarding homes. I'm not that much into that specific topic, so I will not
Yeah,
let's say give my point of view on that regard. So
I think that's what happened in the '70s. We were in the middle of the demographic swung up and down like that in three phases, and the construction cycle went up and down in three phases too.
yeah, okay,
So yeah, because I looked at it uh, back in history, the demographic and construction cycle.
okay. It's
Yeah,
very
I
interesting to
agree.
see if that plays out again. So yeah,
Yeah, if it does.
yeah, if it does, yeah.
What so do you think we could get a short-term pullback in uranium, oil, and all these other oil's got a descending wedge.
Hmm.
Here's the difficult part. It's basically liquidity versus physical consumption of commodities. Like that, it's like this big basically dual. And
Yeah,
usually
it
in
is.
history, you look and it's all liquidity driven because we have a bunch of supply. Now, I don't think we've ever seen what's coming historically in the markets for the past 100 years because we've
No.
always had surplus of commodities. So
Yeah, and
it's
also in oil, you had ongoing, supply coming online, because there were drillings and so on. But right now, I think they do zero drilling,
mhm.
So I think, yeah, I absolutely agree on that part.
It's going to be interesting. It's physical
Yeah, it
versus
does actually.
liquidity.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a falling wedge, and that's a
yeah, it
bullish
is. It is.
technical pattern. We've got
Yeah,
the
very bullish, especially because you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
agreed,
lining up with the wedge. That's very bullish, very bullish.
very
Or
bullish, agreed,
confirming that it is, yeah, that it will break to the upside. Well, it not it's not 100%, but the odds are very good in my point of view.
agreed. I totally
So
agree. And then some of these companies are getting hit pretty hard, especially the marginal producers, and those are the ones I'm really looking at because those ones that are right on the edge, they pull back a lot when the price pulls back, and then they just rocket
yeah, yeah,
if we get uh, a bullish exit out of that pattern for oil. Yeah, that thing looks
Yeah,
ridiculous on long term. Are you on logarithmic there?
yeah, it does. I know. Yeah, this is log scale. Yeah, so I just need
Hmm.
to. There it is. You can see, the more or less perfect channel going back like what is it? Yeah, I don't know, a decade and a half.
Hmm.
So I
And
think we are right there.
we had
Getting
that same
getting
pullback in
ready.
the
So
2002 or so, mid the early 2000s, early
yeah,
2000s. It pulled up, hit the
yeah,
midline,
here.
and came back just
Yes,
like we
true.
did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
That's that's interesting.
So I think we're very similar position
So
as
long. Yeah,
early 2000s. I think. What do you think?
yeah, could be. Yeah, yeah, it could be. Could very well be. So
If if you had no idea
yeah, I
what
mean,
that
and
chart
and if we
was,
are, yeah,
if you had no idea what that chart was, if you'd had no idea, would you say that's bullish or bearish?
I mean, if this was just this popped up to my head, this is a buy in like in any case, and then you would just place your stop below, right? Because this is
Hmm.
such a big breakout, a lot of momentum, and then all the way back down again. So this is very ABC, technical analysis. This is a buy almost always, and then you place your stop below. Um, it's it, it's really simple actually. So in
Hmm.
this case, if it's
I
oil
agree.
or whatever, the Nasdaq, it doesn't matter. So
So you're ultra bullish then, based off of the
yeah, energy.
pattern.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
yeah.
What have you done any like XOP to oil, any XOP to oil charts or any of those ratios that you have? Because I think you posted something with XOP. I can't remember what it was against, and it looked
Yeah, I
really
did.
good. It looked pretty juicy.
Looks really good. Let me find it for you. It's right here, I guess. Yep. Just gonna get
Yeah,
out the
because you
log
posted
scale.
that, and it looked really good. And I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah, so this one, I'm just gonna do the weekly. I think it's more easy just to see.
Yeah, that looks really good.
So I don't mind this. This is just, the major collapse in oil, where it went to zero and so on. So it messes up the chart. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter more or less. But yeah, you have again, the big 1 to 5 correction, basing, and then launch. So I think, the oil and gas companies, even though they have gained, quite good in the past 2 years, are still undervalued from a long-term perspective. You can see going back like 15 years, it's more or less at the bottom, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Where we're
yeah,
trading today, it's cheaper than the entire bull market of the 2000s.
yeah, and it is actually, more or less the low back in the global financial crisis as well. So
Yeah,
they are very cheap, the companies. They're very cheap.
it's
So
crazy.
so if oil goes, goes, let's say to like let's say it gets 50% higher from here, oil just in the shorter term,
Hmm.
or in this year, then you can just say that how the gains, in the oil and gas companies is just going to be, many multiples of that because it will
Yes.
outperform in that area in that time frame. So
Yeah, so we've got basically potentially massive outperformance of exploration production companies against oil, which
yeah,
is basically the best time to be looking at any investment is when you have this type of setup, right?
yeah, yeah, true. When you have the companies outperforming whatever their sector is, then that is a very good time to start to looking to buy something if you have the right setup and so on. Yeah, true. Very true.
I wouldn't have guessed that because we've had such great returns on a lot of these companies, and this is just
Hmm?
kind of breaking out here in 2022 against oil. And really, it was the companies holding coming on up while the crude oil price was still coming back down. So maybe it was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
hedges rolling off and some other stuff.
yeah, could be.
Yeah. And
But
now we're going
actually,
to see,
the oil and gas companies only did 100% only in quotes, let's say, against oil. So I think there are more to come.
yeah.
I really truly believe that. So
And the peak is up around over four, it looked like there. Yeah, 4.5 or
yeah,
so. And
yeah,
we're only at 1.75. Yep.
yeah.
Good. Good. What other
Looks
sectors do
good.
you see as opportunities right now, Casper?
Actually, there is one I would like to show, if I remember it correctly. I know not many people is looking at it. It is actually the Chinese stocks, and for
Yes.
this I use the FXI uh, Chinese large cap ETF you can buy in the US. I posted this as well some time ago, with the false breakdown, and then you started to see the rapid increase, and you
Hmm.
had the breakout actually here in this week. So even though people, talk negatively about China, with the COVID and so on, I mean, money is flowing in, so it can't be that bad.
They did stimulus too.
Yeah, a lot,
They did.
a heck of a
Yep.
lot stimulus.
Yep.
So I
So I
think
think
there are opportunities. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think you're right. Hmm.
Mm. Also, the false breakdown and then the snapback is a very good setup in any case. If you're looking at the 1 hour, daily, whatever, that's a really good setup to see. And then a breakout from the upper trend line. So looks good.
What about I think you had a chart on biotech or something like that one time.
Yeah, biotech. Yeah, biotech.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
What?
not I'm not invested in biotech, but for some reason it has my interest because I don't know anything about the sector at all.
Hmm.
So, but the setup here it could be so explosive. I mean, it's just if we start to break out from this squeezing formation here, I think you will have a very big head and shoulders breakout from the trend line, and then you have the next one, which will be the red neckline, and then I
Hmm.
think it's just go time from there. So it's it for now you shouldn't do anything. You should wait for the breakout, but you know, just look at that squeezy squeezy. I mean,
Yeah, I think it looks
it could
good.
look very good in a very short time. Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I saw you posted that on Twitter, and I
but
was like,
again,
oh, that looks interesting.
yeah, exactly. But I'm not invested. I just follow it because the chart looks very good. But for some reason, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I know. What what else you got up? Are you looking at? What about what do you think of emerging markets? I've been watching emerging markets, EEM or something like that, and that thing looks really good to me. We've got the Chinese stimulus. I'm looking at these certain things, and I'm like, man, this it's broken a big downtrend. Um, just like to get your opinion on that.
Which one did you mention? The E
Uh,
what? Let me just see if
EEM.
EM. Yeah, exactly.
Yep, EEM. Yep, got it.
Yeah,
And
okay.
what I
I mean,
I'm doing the
it's the
short
first time
term.
I see it, but
Hmm.
yeah,
It's not breaking the big long term
I'm just
picture. Well, you could do that, yeah.
no, for sure. Yeah,
Yep.
like that.
And then
That's where
the
I would
short
place it
term one
actually. So
too, if you go real in, it's breaking that as well. The really steep downtrend one.
yeah, yeah,
But
the
yep.
steep one. Yeah, but still, yeah,
And we're getting some buying pressure
yeah.
here,
Maybe you have some sort of yeah,
like an inverted head and shoulders or something going on.
yeah,
Something.
yeah. True, true. But still, it's still I wouldn't say early, but the signs are there. That it could be good. But this backtesting here is just impressive, right? Going from 60 to
I
yeah, it's
know.
a 50% drop more or less. It's wow, Jesus. That's a
But
big one.
if
And you
this
also have a trend down here going across, but yeah, anyways.
yeah, when I think about it though, we've got the dollar that might come up a little bit. It might go sideways, and then when the dollar
Mhm.
drops, I think this thing goes ballistic. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
My kind of
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
on it. So
yeah, exactly. I agree.
yep,
I agree. Because that's a big headwind, for 2022 at least, the dollar going up 20%. So it's a big headwind for these markets. But
yeah, with the
as you mentioned, if we get a drop, like 10% in the dollar, that could set this on fire. So yeah,
yep,
for sure.
and that's what happened in the last bull market. So if you look at the last bull
Okay.
market in the early 2000, like early to mid 2000s and on, this thing just blew up. I mean, it went up hundreds of percents in
Yeah,
that time frame.
600 or so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it went up massively in the mid 2000s all the way to the top there. So Yeah.
Yeah, interesting, interesting.
Yep. Yeah. So I've been watching that one. I think it's going to be soon.
Yeah,
And you can look
yeah,
at
and
some of like,
actually, you, yeah, okay,
Mhm.
okay, nice.
It doesn't look too bad, right?
No, no, it doesn't. It's actually pretty nice. I think you could get a breakout, and then you will get the retest because you know the 200 DMA is still going somewhat down.
Hmm.
So a good way to look at it would be the breakout and then some sort of retest, and then see
Right.
how that is. But yeah, it looks all right, I guess. I would say.
Yeah. And some of the companies, if you check like Baba, BABA, that's the Alibaba.
Mm, yeah,
That's, I kind of
that's
use that as
that's a
like a gauge. I look at some of these other ones over in China, and it looks like they're bottoming from something very low.
yeah. Look at that. You know, the lowest
Hmm.
back in actually the lowest point ever. So what a buying
Yep.
opportunity that was. Mm. I guess I missed
Yep.
that one.
What to buy it just past whatever? Because that was
Yeah, you
pretty
know, buying
recent.
at the bottom here. Yeah, th this bottom here, you know, the all-time low after such a big decline, you typically get a big bounce because it's
Yep.
way oversold. You know, big drop from for like how many percent is it? I can't.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
massive.
wow, that's insane. Yeah, 80%, right? And getting back to the lows, the all-time lows, in fact, I mean that's very often, you know, where you should be buying.
Hmm.
So that's nice. I didn't buy it though. Too bad actually, but it
Yeah.
looks good.
Looks crazy.
Yeah.
What other sectors have you been looking at, or if there is any other sectors?
Um.
How is I remember us looking at like pork bellies or something. How's that doing? We looked
Oh,
at that
those.
long
If I still have them, I can't remember
the ticker.
the exact ticker for it. Yeah, because I have some German tickers, but they are somehow messed up. I don't know why. Lean Hogs, right?
Yeah, lean
Yeah,
hogs. That's what it is.
yeah. You can see it's somewhat broken out. I don't know why. You know, it's messed up. But let me see if I can somehow can I get it up? Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, this is Lean Hogs. I
Slowly
w
moving higher.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be buying here.
Yeah,
But
we're coming up to resistance underneath that
yeah,
previous
yeah.
trading. Yep, yep, yep.
This right here. So.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah, but
curious.
it's still a good investment, right? You know, like 200% or so. Ah,
Hmm.
160. So lean hogs.
What other ones have you been looking at, or is there anything else? Or is there anything where you're like, wow, this looks really bad? Have you been looking at Tesla or something? Could
No,
Tesla be a turn or no?
for me, no. But I will say this: if you put it on log scale for me,
Hmm.
I will be a buyer when if Tesla gets to this lower trend line here. You know, let's say 40,
Oh,
45, whatever.
that's way down there though. What is it trading now? Like at 100 or something, or 100
It's
something?
it's a yeah 110, let's
100,
say.
yeah, 110.
Yeah. So if we get there, I don't know. If we do, it's a major buying opportunity for sure.
What about a company like Amazon? I mean, have you looked at that one? That looks very similar to um, Tesla. You get this kind of toppy-ish looking pattern.
I,
And
wow, I need to zoom out. Wait. Ah,
is that thing like ready to just eat it? You draw a trend line
it's
underneath it.
yeah. We have something. To me, this
Well,
just looks very nasty. I mean, I think there are better opportunities than
yeah.
Amazon. Uh, yeah, but if you zoom in, I mean, I I don't know.
You're seeing better opportunities like Arc K,
What is it?
Kathy
Is it
Wood,
ARK? I can't remember. Yeah, is it R?
ARKK,
Yeah,
ARK,
KK. Sorry, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Arc Innovation
yeah. I think
ETF.
I've drawn a few lines here. Yeah,
Yep.
but it is at resistance, you know. just one trend line that actually shows that you are at resistance. But am I a buyer here? I don't know.
That's a lot of momentum down. I think it's gonna
Mm.
be ultimately if you squeeze it up long term, it looks like a Head and Shoulders top where we could come back up
Yeah,
a
it
little
could
bit,
be a
bounce.
small. Yeah,
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 where we could
yeah,
bounce and then go down lower.
yeah. But then again, just look how far we are from the 200 moving average, right? Let me do it differently. I
Hmm.
mean, I think we are due for a big bounce here, actually. So
Yep.
so a short-term trade, if you can find a good setup in the tech sector, I don't think it's the worst thing you can do, actually. So it's way oversold, way oversold.
Yeah. So what do you think about
So
all these people who think a recession's coming? I mean, this thing's already decimated. We'll get a bounce and then we'll get decimated again at some other point in the future, right? Or do you think this thing's
yeah,
just gonna keep
yeah,
going?
yeah, we are. It's so tricky because there are many pros and cons. So I
Hmm.
I don't know, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
where I work, the company that I work at, we can see, the decline in orders coming in for sure.
Hmm.
Um, but also in the past year, for some reason, all of our customers has bought, they have so much stock, from our products that they can basically stop buying, for like like half a year.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. I don't know what happens when they grind through all that stock, and when they have to start buying again, yeah, it's tricky. It really is.
Right. Right.
But there are signs for sure of a recession, but still are some, there's also, different signals that, maybe it's not that bad, but yeah, I don't know. It's a tough question to answer. Really, it really is.
You know, it'd be
So
weird is if the recession is like we're coming through it. We've already gone through the worst portion of it. Everybody thinks it's like ahead of us, and then we kind of ride through it. And then the Federal Reserve
yeah,
maybe chickens out and then loosens their grip on the monetary tightening.
yeah,
But I don't know. I'm not
yeah,
stating that. That's not like my opinion. I'm just saying it would be funny if something like that happened because everybody is forecasting a recession. It seems like everyone is, and it just seems like that hardly ever works out that way when everybody's forecasting it. Usually goes the opposite direction.
true, true.
But
Yeah.
do you have anything else that you'd like to share? Can be anything.
Uh, no, I mean, I was very bullish just to show that I'm often wrong as well, right? I was very bullish, on cannabis actually last time we
Mm-hmm.
talked, but it just took a huge dive right down here. So I didn't expect that, to be honest, but but yeah, you're not right all the time. So
Right. Did you
so
try to go long in it at all, or?
yeah, I went long, somewhere in, I can't remember the exact, in this camp here, but once we broke, the the support, I sold out with a 20% or 10% loss. I can't remember exactly. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I will. I'm still looking at it because I'm still bullish in the long term, but for some reason, it wasn't meant to be this time around.
Right.
So
It's got a head fake on you.
yeah,
Head fake
exactly,
you.
exactly. I don't know exactly if this lines up. I don't know. At some point, I will enter again, but for now, it was a losing trade. So yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
is what it
happens.
is. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know the
So
fundamentals of cannabis that well, like
no,
that
me
area,
neither.
so
So
I kind of just avoid it. Like I've been in it
yeah.
once before when, on that big move higher. I was in it, but
Oh, in the hype phase, yeah, back, yeah,
yeah, it was a double bottom, and then it went way up, and I was like, okay, I'm out. I don't really like the.
yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I don't really know it that well.
money made. Let's book it and then next. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else that you got?
Maybe just, no one is talking about crypto, but I'm
Right.
actually I'm very surprised how resilient it is actually at the 16K area. So
Mm-hmm.
I think people should start watching, not buying, but just look at how it acts here at this level because it hasn't done anything for like 2 months or so. Actually, more or less half a year if you go back to the pivot low here. So it's
Hmm.
for some reason it's very resilient. So, and I do think if we get a bounce, in the arc as we just talked about,
Hmm.
that Bitcoin will follow because it's very related to the tech sector. So
Yeah,
I think it's yeah,
I use it as a liquidity index. I don't know. That's all
me
I
too,
use it for.
me too. Yeah, totally. Same here, same here. So
So if it starts moving up, I'm like, liquidity is coming from somewhere. What's going
yeah,
on?
exactly. So so yeah, I think if you yeah, as
It's getting
as you
there.
can see, yeah, it's actually we're
It's
just
getting there.
tickling here. So let's see what happens, for the remaining of January, I think. But but yeah, a lot of people is calling for a major rally here, and a lot of people is calling for a major dump. So let's see
I
who is
know.
right. So
We've got that everywhere, it seems like. A lot of people think uranium's going to dump. We got a lot of people think uranium's going to break.
yeah,
We've got it all over the markets right now. We've got a
true.
huge forces hitting each other right now, where a lot of people think it's going to go higher, a lot of people think it's going to go lower. Um, I I'm in the middle because I don't know necessarily because we've got liquidity that they're trying to take out of the market. There's still a lot of liquidity in the market, and then we've got the physical side, which is definitely bullish in my perspective.
Yeah, true.
What's going to win? We'll find out here
Nah,
pretty soon.
yeah. But also remember, there's a lot of cash sitting on the sidelines. So let's say,
Yep.
the ARK and maybe Bitcoin starts to make some decent moves. There's a lot of people that is going to go into those things for a let's say a month or 2, 3 month long trade, and it could actually go higher than a lot of people think. Even though
Yep.
we may be on the verge of a recession, it doesn't matter. If people see a trade and the money is flowing in, you can't stop it. So
I mean, that looks bullish to me.
yeah, it does. It actually does. Yeah.
It could
So
be bullish. Yeah,
yeah,
could
it
be.
could be. It could be.
It's a falling wedge. Falling wedges are bullish.
Yeah. But we don't see any reaction here. It's very just one big
Agreed.
stalemate, I guess. So
It is. It is.
yeah,
There's no green army, is what I call it.
nope,
Big
nope,
green candlesticks. It's not in there
yeah.
yet.
But
So
no, no. But we have major red ones, right? More or
I
less,
know
more often.
it,
So
it's a
it's
weird
still
setup,
bearish. Yeah, it is. It's I don't know what to make of it actually. So
right? Yeah, I don't have anything else really, unless you have something you'd like to share.
just one thing here at the end. I think actually I
Hmm.
read on Twitter that the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust is at a plus NAV right
Hmm.
now. I don't know if that is true, but it means that they could start buying again. So
Perfect.
that's yeah, that's perfect. That's what we want to have. So let's see.
Yeah, and a lot of the stocks, individual stocks, they are all coiling up. So
Uh,
this is going to
really,
get
really a
real
lot.
interesting, and Sput's moving higher here.
It does.
So
Yeah, it
if
is. It is.
that's positive, I would be in the I don't know what camp I'm in anymore because we've got these moves that are they're all squeezing way up to the corner there. If Sput's moving higher, that would
Yeah,
make me think that it's a bullish formation, and we entered from the bottom up.
yeah,
So
it should be. Yeah,
that's my take. But usually, when these things go, it means that liquidity is coming into the market. Usually, so
usually, yeah.
where's this liquidity going to come from? We're seeing it in Ethereum, we're seeing it in Bitcoin, we're seeing it in uranium, we're seeing it in a lot of these areas. Is this just one big? Are we going to get a false kind of move lower before moving on up? I don't know,
Yeah, it could be. Could
but
be.
I mean it's squeezing all over the
Yeah,
place.
this is the UEC, the stock, divided by the spot price. It's coiling up big time.
Yeah,
So
I
within
know it's
a month or
massive.
two, it's just
Are they going to
either
come
way
out
we
with
break,
like
it
a?
will be a big one.
Are they going to come out with like a stimulus package? I mean, China came out with stimulus, so
Yeah, they did big time. So
Yeah, I know. Is that it? Is that the stimulus? Is this showing us that the stimulus was coming and that's where the stimulus came from?
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
As you can see here, this is the URA, right? 1 year big, just one big. I'm just not gonna draw it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So one big squeezing for like 1 year. So
Mm-hmm.
it's it's interesting, very much indeed.
Yeah. Man.
Let me come back on in like 1 month or so. Then we can, I think we will have a conclusion, I guess.
I'll get you on when it breaks up or down.
That's a deal. That's a deal.
Yeah. We'll get you on when we break up or down here. We can make
Yeah.
some comments on it. So what else? What else? You have anything else? Any closing comments? People reaching out to you. Is it okay if they come on your Twitter, add you on Twitter and ask you some questions? Is that all right? Or shoot some
Yeah,
messages
please
to
do.
you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please do. And actually, I've just at the start of this year, I started a Discord channel. You can find the information in my on my Twitter account.
Oh,
And
cool.
every major bigger picture chart that I post, if it is uranium or whatever, I also post there, so you have all the history. So you have that more easily accept to maybe I can show it actually. Can I do that?
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Go for it.
I think I can do that actually. 1 second.
He's so you're
It's loading.
stepping the game up here. That's good. Got
Yeah,
the
I'm trying
Discord and
to
then have evidence
somehow
of when you're
expand a
right and
bit.
wrong.
Yeah. How do I share that screen there? 1 second. Is it? I think it's this one. Yes. All right.
Got it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's brand new. We have a few members already, so that's quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what I'm trying to do is, if I post, a bigger picture uranium chart, then I at that point I would just post it here as well, the link to the Twitter, so we have all the history here. So
Oh,
it,
that's
it
cool.
should be more easy acceptable. So we have gold and silver, platinum, and yeah, and so on.
Cool.
And you can type stuff here, ask questions as well if you want to. So if you use Discord, please just join. You can find the info on Twitter on my profile. So
Awesome.
yeah,
That's good. So that's all I've got. Thanks for coming on, Casper. I really appreciate it. And
thank you.
check out
It's been
his
difficult
Twitter.
with my fourth kid. Yeah, sorry.
I
Go
know.
ahead.
I know. It's
Yeah,
now you're permanently tired for a while.
yeah, more than it was before. So, but yeah.
Yeah, it's getting older.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's all I've got for today, guys. Appreciate it. Everybody put down in the comment section. Thanks, Casper, for coming on. And go check out his Twitter.
Please do.
It's at Uselink INV. And if you want to
Yep.
join his Discord, it's you can go to his Twitter and find it. All right, guys, that's all I've got. Thanks for viewing. We'll catch you next time.